Hey everyone, this is Paul. I wanted to share with you another head smack that happened to me recently. One of those moments where you go, wow, that is so obvious. I should have thought of that. Or maybe you're reminded of something. So, anyway, I saw this photograph online and I reposted it. And what stood out to me, and it's been circled, is that little old lady right there. What we see here in this photograph is we see some sort of a parade going on, and we see a lady that instead of trying to capture a photograph of it, or instead of looking at her iPhone or looking through her iPhone, she's actually enjoying the moment. And so it got me to thinking about myself and my life and the way I use social media, use my phone, and it made me think about the idea of what about if I chose to live more analog? What about if I decided to analog it? Whenever I have an experience, instead of trying to capture it and spend a lot of time capturing it, I analog it. I enjoy the moment. I enjoy the experience for what it is. And I think we miss that a lot of times. What we find ourselves doing is we're like those people. We're at an event and we've got our phones in front of us and we're staring at the live event that's happening in front of us through a small lens or through a small screen. And so we miss out on the enjoyment of what's happening in that moment because we're too busy looking through a phone to enjoy it. And I understand the whole idea of wanting to capture stuff sometimes, and that is good. And so I've got three things I want to share with you that came to mind in how to deal with having a phone and what to do and how to enjoy your moments a little more. Because what we find happening a lot of times is we get into situations and people are spending their time just looking at their phones and just scrolling through. And what they're doing is they, instead of being with the people they're with, are actually looking at photos of people that are posting because they're not enjoying the people they're with. And it really got me thinking about that. And so it got me, I'd also seen a presentation by Simon Sinek, and that also talked about the generation that we're in and how involved we are with social media and our phones. And we've got to post it. We've got to take a photo of it. We've got to capture it. So I want to share three things with you quickly that came to mind on my way home from work. And so I quickly put it in Evernote and I want to share it with you. So what do you do? What are some things to consider when approaching social media, when looking at, when having an experience? What are some things that you might consider doing? Here's the first thing. First thing is limit it. If you've got to capture the moment, if you're with friends or whether you're with family or whatever the experience is, take a photo and then put the phone away. Take a photo, put the phone away, limit it. First thing is limit it. Take a quick photograph and stop it. I've in the past, I frustrated my family because I was too busy trying to get a photo of my meal to share it with people that weren't there. And my family was like, "Dad, just pray and let's eat." And so limit it. If you've got to take a photograph of whatever the circumstance you're in, whatever the event you're a part of, take a photo and then put the camera away, put the phone away, and enjoy the experience for what it is. And I think we miss out so much because we're not fully engaged in the full experience of what is happening in that moment where we're at. And just like that little old lady in the photograph, while everybody else was so busy looking at their screens, she was just leaning on the fence and just enjoying what was happening in front of her and absorbing it more than anybody else. And so limited. First thing is limited. Second thing is leave it. Maybe you just need to leave your phone in your bag, in your pocket, in your car, or even at home. And don't even bring it with you. Just leave it somewhere where it won't bug you, it won't buzz you, it won't disrupt what you're doing. Now, I know there are some professions that you've got to totally be attached to your phone, and so you can't totally leave it at home. So you've got babysitters and you're out with your wife or husband or with couples, you can't leave your phone alone. But that brings me to the third thing, is mute it. What you can do, I know at least on iPhones, is you can set your phone into Do Not Disturb, where it will only call you, and you adjust this in the settings, where it will only ring if a person that's in your favorites calls you. And so what you could do is when you go into that special occasion is simply Just have that one person, if it's a babysitter, if somebody's sick and you want to make sure you're in touch with them, or whatever the emergency possibility might be, is leave them in your favorites, put it in Do Not Disturb, and enjoy the moment. So those are 3 things you could do. Limit it, take a quick photograph and capture it, and then put it away. Second thing is leave it, put it somewhere out of the way where it won't bug you, where it won't interfere with what you're doing. Don't put it on the table and every time it buzzes you flip it over, but put it somewhere where it's out of the way and it's showing the people that you're with that you're fully engaged in being with them, instead of waiting for that other call or waiting for that somebody else that might need to get a hold of you. I've been to conventions where you're greeting people and meeting people, and they greet you, but the whole time they're shaking your hand, they're looking over your shoulder to see who else is there that might be more important than you are. And so that's kind of what it is with the telephone, is if you don't put it away, it's saying, well, if I'm enjoying this moment, but if somebody else calls me, I'm going to pay attention. And so the second thing is leave it, and the third thing is mute it. Turn it off in a way, change the settings in a way that it won't bug you, and only select people can get a hold of you that need to get a hold of you. So that's my head smack for today. Hope you liked it. Give me some feedback, post some feedback on YouTube, on Facebook, where I'm going to share this. And I'd love to hear from you. What do you do to monitor, to manage your cell phone usage? And how do you do it? What do you think of leave it, limit it, and mute it? And by the way, this is the very first generation iPhone. I still have it. It still will turn on, and I absolutely love it. Have a great day. Hope this has helped. And I want to hear your head smack moments as well. Take care.